All right, so this video is about a plugin that just came out that I really like, and it's on Max for Live. It's a Max for Live plugin, and it's made by, let me show you, Ocean. It's a 4-track. It's basically, let's see, how could I summarize it? It's basically like reminds me of the Tascam. In fact, they have a Tascam noise, Tascam 414. And I believe this 4-track just had a nice sound that gave that nice lo-fi, that warble. When you go buy one now, I don't even know how much they cost, but I think because they become so popular now that they're expensive to get. And it does a few different things, and I'll show you my use case for it. And then, of course, there's other ways you can use it. And I'm sure people will gravitate towards it. Anybody using Ableton for sure once you get try it out. So here's your 4 tracks. You can do up to 10 seconds sample into a track, okay? And you see I set the tape length to free. So if you look, let me see if I can move this in a little bit closer so you can see it better. So you can set this to sync, or you can set it to free. If you sync it, you can pick a different length that you're gonna do. Like if you got up to basically 4 bars is what they say, right? So I'm gonna leave it on free for right now. Here's your record, your overdub. There's a feedback, how much feedback you want in there. You got a reverse, and each one has the same thing. You got an EQ section over here. You got your output where you can solo mute pan, and it has a compressor on it. And then you have your start length, repitch, and your speed. So that's really cool. So you can record in, and it allows you, if you notice here, with the drop down menu, you can either record in through whatever your main external in is, or you can use one of your tracks actually and record it. Now I did it, the way I did it was I used the tracks. So I'm gonna use the tracks right now just so you can see what that's like. And I'm gonna let you hear the difference between how it sounds. One of the things I don't like already though, since I've been using it, is that, and you can see when I turn this on, now I saved this, but it does not save the settings. And I don't care for that. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing, but I doubt it. It's weird because look, I'm gonna show you. So it does save the settings here and the settings here, which is the bulk of it, but the input settings, it does not save. And if you move it, I'm gonna put the bass here, and then I'll throw the lead melody, which is nothing on the lead melody, but it doesn't say it. I appreciate it saving all the buttons, because it would be hard to try to go back and figure out what I said over here. But I really would like them to save whatever settings I put in here, period, especially the input settings, so I don't have to go back and figure out which track was what, because it's not like I can label it. So anyway, that's just my one gripe that I've had. Other than that, this thing sounds amazing. There's 3 different noises you can use, which is GE Fast Track. I'm assuming that's one of the older ones. I don't know that one at all. The Library of Congress tape player, I've heard that before. A Sony recorder, of course, and then Tascam 414, I know what that is. So, and this may be something, it's GE, it could be something generic that came with the original 4-track. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't done my research on it, to be honest with you, but I do know that it sounds amazing. There's your global settings down here where you can adjust the speed, pause, you can link it to where it's linked to your BPM, and of course, record and play. Erase and zoom. So zoom allows you to zoom in to a certain section. Of course, you know what erase is, and you can also move around once you have something in here. So I'm not going to demonstrate that way. There's a couple videos. What's Will's name? Will Harton does a good video, and the guy that actually made this or came up with the design for it, I forgot what his name is. Peter Bark, I want to say. He has a YouTube channel, and he does a really nice job of showing you some demos of how you can use it. So I'm not going to do that type of demo. I'm going to show you how my everyday use case would be for this versus all the stuff you could do with it. So if you see down here, it's an instrument, okay? So how do I get to it? Go to Max for Live. Once you put it in, here it is right here. Right? So it's a straight up instrument. I don't know why I have two, but whatever. I ain't tripping. I'll figure that out later. So you drag it down to a track. Now I leave it on a track by itself. And what I like to do is, which I'm going to do right now, is you'll notice that I don't have, oh, you can turn this one off too. You notice I don't have these. Usually you have to have these on the, wait, you can't see that. Hold on a second, let me fix that. So this is the mute, right, in Ableton. So usually you have to have that track on, but you can turn it off once you route everything into this inner ocean. The drums are not routed into it. I want the drums to be as they are. Now on my tracks, I use another plugin, which I talked about recently, which is the Gulf compressor. I leave that on. I don't really use the compressor in here, so I keep that on 0. I'm not really using that or the pan features because I can pan most of my tracks. I can pan in here. Now, if I was going to use a sample in here, because you can drag and drop samples into here, then I would probably be using maybe the solos and the mutes. But as far as compressor, I just enjoy the compressor I have. But I do like some of the noise. I love the wow, the flutter, and the bias portion. So these are great. And they have a dry wet here too, as well as on the noise. You can put a percentage of how much you want. So this is all your phasing, your width, your flutter, your wow effect. Or we could say warble too, if you want to say it that way. All right, so there it is. So check this out. Let me show you what it does that I enjoy so much. Okay, I'm going to turn it off. So I'm going to have to turn the tracks on for you to hear it. So I'm going to turn these tracks on first. Okay, and then I'll play it with this some of this where you can hear it without it. All right, so here it is. Okay, hold on, let me, because Swan, one of the things I don't like is you got to touch the expression for it to come alive for some odd reason, so you can hear it. So I have a tenor sax. Okay, so that's the track. This is one I just started today, so I'm just showing you. Now let's listen to it with the plugin. So when I run the plugin, I'm going to turn this off because otherwise you'll get two sounds. You'll get the sound that you just heard, and you'll get the this. And that may be for some people, but for me, I just want to hear what this one sounds like. So I'm going to put the play on. I'm going to leave the speed at its regular speed. Make sure link is on so it plays to that. And this, see what I mean? Like if you turn it off, like I have to go back in now and put each one on here. It's a little bit, that should be the bass. And then this one should be the lead melody, which is the horns. All right, so check this out. I've already taken them all out, so you don't, so these 4 tracks is the main focus, but just listen and tell me what you think. Oh, I gotta start at the beginning, that might help. So the initial thing you're gonna notice is that it's not loud. You're like, okay. So let me do something here. Post effects, post effects. So you put So one of the things you'll know is that notice, I should say, is that it is volume wise, it cuts the volume tremendously. Okay. So it's so that's something you got to take into consideration when you do it. You may have to put you have to figure out whether you want to go pre-mix, post-mix. I mean, pre-effects, post-effects, or post-mixer. So I think I can't really tell much of a difference between them. Maybe somebody else could, but I think when I do pre-effects, I think, well, that's obviously playing it before it hits the effects, right? Which is okay, because then it's almost like I'm playing the instrument into this and then putting some effects over it. So you may have to adjust some of your gain. I'm not exactly sure on that, but I'm going to put this on and let you hear it with it on. Okay, so you can hear, obviously that sounds better, right? But now let's go into it. And this time what I'm going to do is open it up and I'm going to put, that's pre-effects. I'm going to put the post effects on it and let you hear what it sounds like with the post. See how that sounds. Now I'm going to switch over to the Library of Congress. Okay, I'm gonna stop it. So you have to go through and figure out which one you like. I haven't really messed with the noise. I just got this today, so I did. Let me see. Kind of like that Library of Congress. So this is one of my favorite things too on here is that they have a great EQ thing to help. So when the sound is too low, you might need to bring the mids up. Like I had the mids out on the horn because it's already very mid gainy, if that's a word. I don't even know if that's proper, but so I didn't want it to be overboard, right? But let's say you have something that you're putting it on like a solo, you might want a little pump the mids. I'm leaving them flat on most situations. I turned this one back just because, but let's see if we just, let me show you what it sounds like if I go too high. Stop it there. So you can see, I mean, with all the flutter, you got to figure out how much you want to do. There's a lot to mess with, a lot to try out. And this is only one way of using the plugin. It's more like using the plugin as an effects, kind of like the way I would use the compressor, kind of like, you know, any other effect that you would put on there. So the only difference is, 1 second. Sorry, my dog was coming in, so she went back out though. So where was I? Yeah, so the only difference is for me is I would probably, this is definitely how I'm going to use it, right? The majority of the time. And occasionally I'm going to go in and try some of the little techniques and tricks you can do with it. But I think this is my main thing is I like it more as a coloring tool. I do love this about it too. If you can see down here that your play button is here. So if you want it on, you can just hit play. You can adjust the speed for the whole thing. Mind you, there's nothing really to adjust right now because I'm not really using this portion of it where I would actually be dropping a sample in or something like that, adjusting speed on each sample. I'm just using it as an effect, right? So you can hear it. But I think it's a really great effect. You got so many options. The Library of Congress player sounds good. And you know, it's not, sometimes you get a plugin and the noise is just like obnoxious. Like seriously. Like it's just so much noise, it's almost unusable. To me, I have this thing at 100% and the noise still sounds very balanced. Let me solo out one track so you can. I'm going to solo out 2 tracks actually. That Library of Congress tape player ain't no joke. Let's try to task him. I think, honestly, I haven't found one yet that I don't like. Let me see this one. That one sounds good too. Unless I'm mistaken, they all sound pretty good. And these are, I know the effects are going. It's nice. It's just like almost like the perfect lo-fi feel. Because other plugins either overly do it or underdo it. And this one just seems like it just nails it. I mean, like so well. It sounds very natural. It doesn't sound, like I said, it just doesn't sound overdone to me at all. Now, I don't think these global controls work when you're just passing the sound through the way I'm doing. I think, and I would use post. I do like it on post a little bit better. Post, I mean, afterwards, because I want it to be kind of the last thing in there so that the whole sound is, versus putting it before the effects. I guess if I would use that, I guess I would use that if I was going to record in something. Maybe I'd want it before the effects. I don't know yet. I'll have to mess around and see what that is. But I just think it just sounds so great. And to me, that's like 80% of the battle is just the sound. If the sound is no good, I don't even want to use the plugin. So I'm not, by the way, this is not a paid sponsor. I did buy this plugin. I think it's $20 right now at the time of filming this, and it's going to go up to $30. So if you got Ableton and you can splurge the 20, grab it, while it's on sale, because otherwise it's gonna go up. And to me, this is gonna be a staple in my workflow. I think it's just a great plugin. I don't know what else to say. That I was looking for something to say bad, but the only thing I can say, and this may annoy some people, I think when these 4 tracks came out, they only had about 8 seconds of record time for like in-house recording into one of the tracks. It was not a lot, and they have this one set at 10 seconds, which is not a lot. But the one thing, the way I'm using it is a totally different scenario where it doesn't matter what the seconds are. I'm just using it as a color. I'm gonna call it a coloring box, just because that's exactly what I'm using it as, just to color the sound. But I can't wait to try some of the other features out on it. And if you get this plugin, let me know. Again, the link, just look, all you have to do is look up Inner Ocean 4-track, just like it's spelled right there, and you'll find it. It's not hard to find. And if you got it, if you get it, yeah, let me know, because it's a cool plugin. It's definitely my favorite recent plugin that I've gotten outside of Volt Compressor, which is top notch to me. That thing is on everything, even my drums. I don't know if I might try this on the drums sooner or later, but right now I'm not really worried about putting it on the drums so much. I like it on the piano and the bass. It sounds cool on the bass. And by the way, those pianos you're hearing too have the Volt compressor on it too, as well as this. So you're getting really all of it, all in one. Incredible plugin. Looking forward to doing more stuff with it. The this EQ section, phenomenal. They really did a good job on it. I mean, it's not overly done. It's not underdone. It's just like right in the middle. And I'm saying all this to say you got to try it to understand. It's not something I can just keep saying, oh yeah, you got to get it. But you really do. You have to try it. When you mess with these wow and flutter and bias section, the way they've did this, unbelievable. I want to max it out a little bit and test it in that way, but I haven't had a chance to do that. So I just wanted to show you it and just kind of let you know this plugin is something else. So anyway, that's it for this video. Until the next one, I'll keep you posted. I only want to show you stuff though that I would actually use. I don't want to show you stuff that's just like, just to show you something. But if I get something, whatever, however I get it, and it's just something to show you, I will show you, but I'd like to be more excited about whatever I'm showing you, so that way it's authentic. I don't want to do something fake, because that's not me. So anyway, all right, that's it for this video, and leave questions, whatever you have in the comment section, and until the next one, I'm out.